I think the biggest thing is ego. I think ego expresses itself in two ways here. One, folks need to be able to justify to themselves why they're lifting a certain amount of weight. And it's much easier to justify if that weight is heavier. So when people say, hey, listen, you got to get on this cable curl machine and you got to do sets of 20 and really get the pump and the burn and destroy the muscle a little bit and let it recover, they say, oh man, that's like 50 pounds. I don't want to be seen curling 50 pounds. What the fuck? Like my sister does that. Fuck that. I want to be lifting serious weight. I'm not big and strong enough yet to do that. But if I do underhand pull-ups, I'll quote unquote nominally hit the biceps, at least on paper. But I can lose like 25 pounds because I'm skinny and I don't weigh much, and I can do plenty of pull-ups. And if I do them underhand, I can even do them with a 25 pounder. And then the huge 300-pound guy at the gym kind of nods at me because he's like, damn, I can't even do weight attached to underhand pull-ups. And I feel like I'm competent. And the other thing is they'll say things like, well, you got to pick compound movements that are, this is a classic statement, that are it's never this intellectually phrased, that are amenable to being overloaded, or that are like ideal to overload, which means like something like bench or squat or deadlift or overhead press, like you can add weight over time. So if we think for like 3 seconds about that, we can actually add weight over time to every single exercise that's ever existed, except we have to add very small fractions. And that's where you get back to the ego. Nobody wants to add 2.5 pounds to the curl bar every 2 weeks. But if your biceps are growing at a really good rate, that's what you're going to be adding. Mm-hmm. But they want to add 5 pounds every week. How do you do that if you weigh 140 pounds and you're drug-free and you've lived for 8 years? You got a bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press. I mean, it's got to be a compound move. If you leg press, you're already leg pressing 400 pounds. You can add 2.5 pounds every week and feel really good about yourself, and even 5 pounds. Getting the 2.5s and carrying them across the gym and putting on something, it's almost like a sign of defeat to many people. Like, I should be progressing with big weights, not these 2.5s. So I think a lot of times that basically that 2-factor ego thing is, one, I need to be lifting big weights. So I want only compound movements that let me lift a lot. And 2, I want the essentially immediate gratification of being able to get stronger every session. And the way you do that is you focus on lifting for strength with compound movements in the 5 to 10 rep range.